Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in for our special edition stream today. We're doing a Today in Global Hack Week plus an intro to agent mode and GitHub Copilot. We're combining both just so that we can maximize the amount of time that we have with y'all and so that we can cover all the content that we need to cover. So basically, I'm just going to go over Today in Global Hack Week Day 2 super quickly, and then I will get into our intro to agent mode and GitHub Copilot, which I'm sure most of you are here for. If you want to make sure that your attendance is counted, just scan the QR code. It will take you directly to the check-in link for today. And if you are unable to scan that QR code, no worries. Let me get that link for you. The QR code's actually a new feature, or maybe it's not new. I guess I haven't streamed in that long, or in a while. So I haven't seen the QR code, but the QR code is there. And also you can use the link I just pasted in the chat for you to be able to check in and make sure that you have your attendance for the stream counted. I'll also show it at the end if anyone needs it, but it should be there for you. It's also in the original Discord message that I sent, where I said, like, check in here. So you can always go and click on that as well. Hello, 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 friends. Hello. Okay, well, since it seems we have no other questions, let's get right into it. I'm going to remove that little check-in QR code so it's not distracting, but if anyone needs it again, just let me know. Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Lots of interaction today. Yay. First order of business. Hi, I'm Varshni. I am a coach at MLH. My go by she, her pronouns. And a fun fact about me is that I love hiking. I'm really excited for this summer. I'm planning on going hiking a lot, and I'm very excited to see a bunch of mountains and get to the top. So very excited about that. But welcome to Global Hack Week. If you're curious about what's going on and what's on the schedule, what we've got going on today, you can check out ghw.mlh.io/live. And while I've actually got that link up, let me just double check and make sure that that link leads to where I think it does. Fingers crossed. It's actually not loading for me. It's been unfortunate. It might be my Wi-Fi. But it should lead you to the schedule. So go ahead and take a look at that if you're curious, but I will be covering that. Yay, it does lead us to the schedule. Computer's just a bit slow. But welcome to day 2 of GHW. We've officially made it past day 1. We are now in day 2. The times for a few of the streams have changed. To see ghw.mlh.io/schedule for the most up-to-date schedule. We're having a couple of difficulties with time zones, so a couple of the times have changed. So just make sure you check out that schedule if there was a stream that you really wanted to go to or that you already marked on your calendar. Just make sure that the time is still correct on the schedule. Hey, yeah, I answered your question up above. You can check in with this link right here. That's how you're going to give attendance. You just check in there and then we know that you're here. So today's schedule, if you weren't able to get to that earlier link, is going to be here. I'm also going to go over it, but if you want a quick little link, there you go. First, our first stream of the day is OpenClaw in the Cloud Part 2. Join Wei at 1:30 p.m. IT to continue this OpenClaw in the Cloud stream series and get to learn more about that. If you watched Part 1, definitely going to want to make sure that you join. If you didn't get a chance to watching Part 1, you'll have 30 minutes-ish after this stream ends to take a quick glance at that so you can be informed for Part 2. Next up, we've got our Wikipedia Races mini event with Vincent. Join Vincent at 4 p.m. ET to play the Wikipedia Races mini event game. It's quite fun. Next up, we've got Cecilia with another mini event. Join Cecilia at 6 p.m. ET for a Tetris mini event. I personally love Tetris. It's quite fun, so I'd strongly recommend you go there. And then we've got Hacking with UT. Join UT for a 2-part stream tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. I'm assuming that's ET, but definitely make sure you check out the schedule and see what time it is in your local zone to see if it aligns with what you're hoping for. But yeah, UT is going to have a really cool 2-part series going on, so strongly recommend you go. UT streams are always very fun. And then we've got another mini event, Cecilia coming back for another mini event, Type Racer at 11 a.m. ET tomorrow. So if you get a chance to watch UT stream and you want a little break after, feel free to go to Cecilia's Type Racer mini event. And that's it for today's schedule. I mean, I'll probably put this up at the end of the stream, but if y'all want to give feedback, you're more than welcome to at this link. I'll probably push it up at the end as you probably don't have too much feedback on the Today in Global Hack Week Day 2 stream, as that was a quick little 5-minute stream. But I'll pause for a quick second for Q&A here, just because at the end of the agent mode stream, I'll also pause for Q&A, but that Q&A will be more focused on the agent mode stream. So if you have any questions in general about GHW, or any dying MLH questions, more than happy to answer them. So I'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. And if there is nothing, I am more than happy to just keep chugging along. But definitely let me know. If you're waiting and you don't have any questions, would strongly recommend you check out the Discord message and go ahead and get your GitHub Student Developer Pack. You'll be getting that during the course of the session, but it definitely will make it much easier for you if you're just able to go ahead and get that now. So definitely go ahead and try that out if possible. But if not, no worries. It is looking like we don't have any questions, which is totally chill. Happy to go back if y'all do have questions, but I'm going to move on to the second part of our stream, which is Intro to Agent Mode in GitHub Copilot. Super excited to run this stream. I really love loving it. I really love running it at every hackathon that I go to, and I'm sure y'all are going to enjoy it as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So basically, the stream is about the agent mode in GitHub Copilot. And specifically, if you don't know about GitHub Copilot, it's going to be your fifth teammate at hackathons in your team of 4. So make sure you check in and receive a fast track pack to GitHub Student Developer Pack access to this stream. You're actually not going to get a sticker, but if you go to an in-person hackathon, you will definitely receive a sticker if you attend these workshops. But y'all will be getting swag packs if you go to enough events, so definitely make sure you do that. But learning to use AI throughout your development flow is now an essential skill. There's also an interest slide here. Hey, unfortunately, you guys already know me. But MLH hackathons are the best place to learn AI skills. AI technology changes daily. It's kind of taboo in school and work. I'm sure if y'all are in uni or if you have a full-time job or role, a lot of times your professors or your managers might say that like not to use AI, maybe because of security concerns or maybe because they want you to show your own work. So it's kind of taboo in those environments, but it's really great in hackathons. Everyone's at a hackathon to learn, and using AI is a really great way to learn and kind of increase your skills. So does anyone know what GitHub Copilot is and how you use it? Question for the 41 member audience that we have here today. I know one of you knows the answer. Wait here until someone can think of an answer. It doesn't have to be super complex, super comprehensive, just a quick little answer is all I'm looking for here. Yay! Thank you, Quackers and Cheese. Yes, it is an AI assistant for coding. Great description. GitHub Copilot is a fully agentic AI pair programmer that can help you write, debug, and understand code. So basically just an AI assistant for your code. And if you're wondering what this assistant can do, again, write, debug, and understand your code. So coding with AI has changed a lot for sure. In 2024, a couple years ago, AI coding only had tab completion, it had unreliable output, and it was outdated and siloed. But GitHub Copilot today is fully agentic, has high quality code, and has MCP server access as well. Hello, hello. Yes, you are correct, Rock Event. It is definitely used to help check your questions for code. So today we're going to be learning by doing. We're going to be cloning a template README for your GitHub profile. We're going to be setting up GitHub and MLH MCP servers for live personalized data, and we're going to be using GitHub Copilot to customize your GitHub profile. So that's pretty much it for the slides. Today is a very hands-on day. We're going to be working very hands-on with all of the things that I'm going to be teaching y'all. It's not just going to be like on a slide and then like we work through it. I'm going to fully be going through all of it with you. So get ready, open up VS Code if you don't have VS Code already, download it. If you don't have GitHub Copilot, download that as well, or not download, get access to that as well. And this is going to be a great time. So while I'm opening up VS Code, make sure you're going ahead and opening up VS Code as well. Okay, so a bit of, I suppose, context before we get started. First, if you're wondering what a GitHub profile README is, basically you can share information about yourself with anyone on GitHub by creating a README profile. GitHub shows that profile README at the top of your profile page. So if you click on your username and you click on your profile page, your README is the first thing that you see. You decide what information to include in your profile README. So you have full control over how you present yourself on GitHub. And people will often include really cool stuff about them in the README, like maybe an About Me section, contributions to the community that you're proud of, or like contributions to code that you're proud of. So it's usually a really nice time. And I know I talked about MCP before, so if this is y'all's first time hearing about MCP, MCP basically stands for Model Context Protocol. And MCPs are basically APIs or application program interfaces for AI models. AI models are typically constrained to the data that they've been trained on, but like if you want your model to answer a question about today's weather, for example, something super specific to the time, date, and location of where you are, you can install an MCP server that calls to a weather API. So your AI model can gather like real-time weather data from that API and provide like really accurate, really descriptive answers about some topics that it didn't really have the context for before. So it's just a great way to get super specific information. And the specific, super specific information that we're going to be using in the workshop today is the information linked to your MyMLH account. So y'all might have made a MyMLH account when you were trying to get access to the Discord channels. So we're going to be using the information from that account today to go ahead and get some more specific information about you to put on your README. But with that in mind, first let's go ahead and get the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So we're going to go to mlh.link/github, .link/github. Put that link in the chat for y'all, but there it is. And I'll screen share the entire process with y'all so you see what's going on, so that if you're unable to follow along, you can at least see what needs to be done for after the workshop. But if you go ahead and head over to that link, you'll see exactly what I'm about to screen share with you right now. There you go. So you'll go over here and you'll see your education benefits. If you don't already have the GitHub Student Developer Pack, you can just go ahead and click Start an Application. You can also see that it takes a little bit for them to accept your application. If you're applying for the first time, I'd recommend that you put in your student ID. It'll give you like a couple different ways to prove that you're a student. And one of the ways that you can do that is show a picture of your student ID. I would recommend doing that. I think it's the fastest way to get it approved. But just make sure that you're in the same city that you go to university in, or that you teach whatever university you attend. Because if you're in a different city, they will not take it. That is why you do see 2 rejections on my screen over here. I did it when I was at a hackathon in a different city, and it rejected me because I was too far. So definitely make sure you are where you are. And if you're not able to get the Student Developer Pack, A-okay. You just won't be able to fully move along with the MCP part of this workshop, which is kind of the main part of the workshop. So totally okay. Feel free to just like chill, grab a bag of popcorn and just like watch. And then feel free to do it after when you get back to your university city or whenever you get access to GitHub Copilot with the Student Developer Pack. But with that, let me show you some of the cool features of GitHub Copilot. So I scrolled down to this Copilot section and I went to features. You can see a bunch of these different features here. All these different like settings, Copilot chat, all of that. Specifically, I told you that this was about MCP servers. So MCP servers and Copilot is enabled. If you don't have Copilot, you won't be able to connect to the MCP servers, which is the main reason that we ask y'all to get that GitHub Student Developer Pack so that you can get free access to Copilot and so that you don't have to pay for it. Yes, exactly. If you don't have a bag of popcorn or if that's not what you'd want to eat, feel free to grab a cup of tea and just enjoy. It's going to be a fairly quick workshop and a fairly simple workshop, so not too much brain power required. So very chill workshop, very cup of tea and bag of popcorn workshop indeed. Yeah, that's a little bit more about Copilot Pro and some of the cool settings that they have. But now we're going to switch into VS Code. So let me get my other tab up here. Make sure y'all switch over into VS Code. I have like 17 different tabs open here. This is so funny. There you go. This is VS Code. Let me get that download link for VS Code for y'all. I know some of you might not have it. There you go. So this will lead you to a place to download it. Also, something really cool is like if you want to test out VS Code, they can actually identify which operating system you're on and give you the correct download link. So that first link I sent, actually, it is able to, it just gives you all the different download links that you could possibly click on. But the second link I sent just gives you the one link for your specific operating system, which I think is super cool. So yeah, feel free to use that. Make sure you download that. Once you've gone ahead and download that, you're going to want to make sure that you have the correct settings. So I'm just going to double check. I don't think y'all need this, so I'm just going to triple check that this is what I wanted. Okay, great. So we are going to go to the specific link. I am on GitHub Copilot 3, and I think very cool. Okay, maybe that's a new feature. GitHub Copilot 3 MCP servers enabled. Interesting. Okay, well, there might be another reason that I'm forgetting that we told y'all to get the GitHub Copilot Student Developer Pack. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. Maybe this was like a outdated thing and they recently gave y'all access to that. But I still do recommend that if you're a university student, you get the Student Developer Pack just because it's so much easier. And it gives you a lot of free stuff. There you go. Way's got some good information for us, gives you more access to more advanced models and a higher quota. Yes, that's some good, useful information. So if y'all get the GitHub Copilot Student Developer Pack, you can get access to some more cooler models, and you can use them a bit more too, which is what that higher quota means. So Ariba Duwalo, even if you're on GitHub Copilot free, feel more than free to get onto that GitHub Copilot Student Developer Pack. Very useful. But okay, we're going to go over into the specific README template that we're going to be using today. So let's log on to that. Go ahead and head over to that link so you can follow along with what I'm doing. But I'm going to go to this specific URL here. Let me switch screens once more. Gotta love StreamYard. Okay, so this is the template README that we're going to be using. This is just a specific README template that we use. It's got some like cool specific locations. And we're going to click this, use this template right here, create a new repository. And right here, we're going to make sure that the new repo is named as your GitHub username. So for me, that's going to be my name. Make sure it's public. We're going to create it. Create an owner, myself. And boom, we run into a fun little error. So this error you want to make sure that you fix before you make your README. So a lot of you have probably already started your coding development journey and you might already have a README. So if you do, you're going to want to make sure that you go ahead and delete your README so that you can do this. If you don't want to do that, that's totally valid. Feel free to make like a spam or burner account and follow along with this workshop. Or again, grab your bag of popcorn, grab your cup of tea, and just sit back and watch. So I'm going to go ahead and stop screen sharing for a second while I go ahead and delete my previous repo. I wanted y'all to see that error, but I don't want to dox the rest of my account. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that repo. Ooh, actually, since I got past the information that I needed to get past, let me show y'all how to delete a repo if you're unaware. So I just went to my repo page and I scrolled all the way down, and you can see this like red area. It's called the danger zone. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this repository. Remember, you should probably never delete a repository. I just do this because I run this workshop so often and I change my README so often, so I know that there's nothing of importance in my README. But I'm just gonna go click, I don't want this. It's permanently deleting everything, totally fine, and it wants me to just type that. So I'll just go ahead and type that. It's probably gonna ask you to do the same thing. Obviously not the same like letters, but same concept, and boom, it's now deleted. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to my new repository page. Oh, great question. Lots of features are available to you in the Student Developer Pack. Specifically, like we were talking about earlier, it gives you some access to some higher AI models, some higher quality AI models, and also higher usages. But let's look at those benefits together to see what they give you. Let's look. So, okay, that's a bunch of. So, are they? Oh yeah. So, one of the biggest benefits of getting a student developer pack is these like offers that they give you. So you can get like 1 year free domain on registration on .me with Namecheap, an SSL certificate, $200 in DigitalOcean platforms, like all these different benefits, Notion education plan, like Azure, free access, .tech, GitHub. Like this is a crazy amount of benefits that y'all can get. So I'd strongly recommend that you go ahead and sign up for that. Like I'm just scrolling through it because this is just a crazy amount of stuff. And also for those of you that are doing technical interviews, this might catch your eye. Free access to coding interviews on algoexpert.io. I know a lot of people use that for their technical interviews. Yeah, a bunch of benefits for you, and it's free as long as you have your student ID. So I'd strongly recommend that you get that. Hopefully that answered your question. But now we're going to go back to the new repository. So this actually doesn't exist anymore, so I'm just going to use it. Perfect. And you'll notice when I do that, it auto-populates the below box, and it says it's a special repo that you can use to add a readme.readme to your profile. It says make sure it's public. Boom, it's public. And initialize it with a readme to get started. Great. I think this is really funny. It says great repository names are short and memorable. How about Cuddly Octospork? I don't really know if anyone would say that. But I mean, that's memorable. I don't know if it's like useful, but cool anyways. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and click create this repository. Make sure that it's your username. It's gonna generate our repository here. And boom, it generated our repository. Yay! So now we're going to go back into VS Code. Okay. So I just made a hi.py file. We're going to open up GitHub Copilot agent mode. So I have this little chat icon in the top right, and I'm just going to open that up. That's GitHub Copilot right there. Right there. Click on that, and there you go. We've got chat. And if y'all don't have that, let's go over to this section and go to the extensions that you get clicked on everything but the right one. It's going to be these little squares over here, and you're going to search up GitHub Copilot. It's going to be this first one here with 65 million downloads. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit tired. And here you're just going to click install. You can see that I've already got it, which is why it says disable or uninstall. But just make sure you install that. You might have to restart your environment to make sure that you can see these changes happen. Just make sure you go ahead and do that. And now you've got GitHub Copilot in your environment. You've opened it up over here. Just make sure you're in agent mode. So right here on the bottom, you see a bunch of different stuff. Specifically here, it says agent, ask, or plan. So they're pretty self-explanatory, but plan, just like you tell it, like, I want to make this app, and it'll give you a big list of things that you can do. Same thing with ask. You can ask it questions. So you can be like, oh, I don't want you to make this change, but I'm building a website and I want the UI to look a bit better. How can I do that? It'll give you suggestions. And then agent just directly edits your files. So if you're going in terms of like something that gives you the most assistance, that would be agent. Least assistance would be planning. We're going to go with agent here just so we can show you the max power of what GitHub Copilot can do. So make sure that you are set on agent. And once we do that, we're going to ask VS Code for help in forking the repository. So if this is your first time using GitHub, we usually do this thing called forking a repository, which is basically where we take that repository and open it up locally so that we can use the code from that repository and not affect anyone else's code. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that you're in that. And we're going to ask it to help us clone the template that we saw before into this current folder. Funny thing is we're not actually in a current folder. So let me go ahead and add us to a folder really quick. New folder, I'm going to call this 314 stream Copilot. I think I do this pretty often. I usually just make the file and then forget the folder, which is on me, but it's okay. I'm doing new file. Just say hi. Just a random file so that it doesn't get stuck on my home page. Ooh, today I've created a Chrome extension with GitHub Copilot. Oh, very cool. That's actually really interesting. I wonder, wait, you created a Chrome, oh, like with GitHub Copilot, it helped you make it. That's very cool. You should send us the link to the Chrome extension so we can look at it at the end of the stream and admire in awe of your work. Send the link to that in the chat. We'd love to see. But we're going to ask it to help us clone the template into this folder. The basis command, can you help me clone that specific template into this current folder? And I'm going to tell it, put the repo contents directly in the correct current root. Basically what that does is it just tells the agent, so anything from the repo, you need to put it in the root so it doesn't go put it somewhere random in the folder. So let's go ahead and ask that, see what it says. Yep, so it's got a couple of commands for us. GitHub Copilot's always a bit extra. Always wants to make sure that everything's right, so it'll run a couple more commands than it needs to, but it's okay. It's trying its best. Yeah, like this is insane. This is totally not needed. If you know GitHub, you know you can just do git clone, but it's having a great time. Yay! Okay, it cloned it. Wonderful. So we can see we've got the JSON and the README file. Wonderful. So it cloned it successfully. So that's another thing. If you're too lazy to do the git clone command, you can always do that. This is more tailored towards people who don't really know how to use GitHub, and maybe you're under like a time compression. You can just ask agent mode to help you out with that. And also that's like a quick demo for something maybe more advanced. So maybe you'd want to do something else a little bit more advanced. This is kind of like something similar that you can do. But okay. We're going to install the GitHub MCP. You deployed the extension locally. Very cool, very cool. Give us some more information what that extension is. That sounds super cool. And if you ever do deploy it externally, public facing, definitely let us know in a future stream or put it in the Discord. I'm sure people would love to see your stream and they'd be very excited to do so. So yeah, give us more information. Love to hear about it. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and go to the Visual Studio MCP tab. It'll give you some more information on Visual Studio's MCP Marketplace. Let's start sharing that screen. Okay. So this is VS Code's MCP registry. And we're specifically going to install a GitHub one, so you can see about like so many different MCPs, which is why I love MCPs. Lots of different ways to get some pretty cool information and some specific information for your projects. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and click GitHub. You see this, and you can just click install MCP server, install in VS Code. I'm not going to do that because I've already installed it in my VS Code, but you can just go ahead and click install. It'll open it up in VS Code. And just to show that it works, let's go back to VS Code really quick. Might take y'all a bit longer just because you have to actually download it, but I've already downloaded it, so mine's ready to go. We're going to go ahead and click the extensions on the left side. Does it not have the MCP server? Oh, looks like we actually don't have it downloaded. I got too excited. That's okay. We'll just go ahead and download that with y'all then. Then I can show you how we're doing it. So I'm going to go install in VS Code. It's going to open VS Code. And then let me show you what it looks like on the VS Code tab. I know it would be so much easier if I just shared my whole screen so you can see exactly what I was doing as I was doing it. But the last time I did that, I accidentally leaked some of my personal info. So I'm not going to be doing that. But yeah, I installed it. There you go. You're going to let it authenticate you. And basically, oh, navigation failed. It's a bit unfortunate. I think it's because I'm in Safari. I hate Safari. Need to go on Google. Yeah, there it is. Okay. It will give you this little authentication tab in the corner. And if it doesn't let you open it, it's because you're in Safari. Put it in Google Chrome or another browser. Safari has like weird privacy rules. Actually, they're not weird. They're probably like really helpful for you, but they annoy me during streams. So, okay. So this is the tab that it leads you to. And I'm just gonna click yes. I think every time I do one of these streams, I'm always like, oh, I'm never gonna use my personal account again because it always doxes me, and then I never make a spam account. I think today is gonna be the day I make a spam account. I'm tired of having my public account open all the time. That's okay. Okay, back here, it installed. Yay! It also authenticated us. Double yay. So we're gonna go back to what we were doing, and we're gonna show that it works. You can see here, the MCP servers, GitHub is now installed. Now we're gonna ask it, use the GitHub, oh, let's spell GitHub correctly. GitHub MCP tool to pull some summarized data about me. So now it's going to use the agent mode and use the MCP tool, and it's going to pull some data about me from my account. Again, another reason why I think I should just make a fake account, because now it's getting real information about me, which is oh so interesting. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, there you go. It's got all my stuff, my repos, my account, all that stuff. Super cool to be able to pull that personalized info about me. And now we can see that the MCP works. And now we're going to install one more MCP. So we're going to install a custom MLH MCP. Ooh, So we're going to go to this link. Let me show y'all what that looks like. Okay. we're over here, and this helps you understand a bit more about how to manage MCP servers. Like there's a quick start, lots of different ways to add it, configure the file, and this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to add an MCP server to our workspace. We've already done that with the file, so let's go back to VS Code for a quick second so y'all can see what we're doing over here. So many tab switching. I feel like I'm switching every second. My gosh. You're going to change the name of the mcp.json file over here. So we're going to go back to our file structure. You can see it says rename me.mcp.json. It really wants you to rename. And we're going to change it to mcp.json. The reason why we had rename me is because the second you have mcp.json, your computer recognizes that as an MCP file. And we don't want it running until we get to this part of the workshop, which is why we have it as rename me. The second you ran it to an MCP, it identifies that as an MCP. And boom, you can see as soon as I did that, it actually added this add server button in the bottom right. So we're just going to click add server. But if that button didn't show up for you, you can reload your window. So you can do Command-Shift-P, reload window, or you can click the reload symbol in the bottom right, right here. That actually is not the reload symbol. My bad. Where is it? This is the bottom left. Oh, it's this one. No, what's okay? Never mind. Don't click buttons. I believe they have hidden the button from me. So sad. Maybe it's you know what? It's fine. Reloading the window is enough with Command-Shift-P or Control-Shift-P if you're on a Windows. Yeah, and then you can also click the button here. You can see how it says start here. This will also start the server. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can start a server. All of them do work, but I'm just gonna go ahead and click add server here. Add server. Never mind, I'm just click start. Yay, it's running. So don't click the add server, just click start. So much easier. Now that it says that it wants to authenticate, I'm gonna click allow. It's asking me to open to this external site. That external site is just MLH's page. Let me show you what that looks like as well. Don't worry, some of these links might look a little yikes, but they're not. They're all very legit. Oof. Aha! Yay! Okay, so it's asking all of that. Wonderful. I'm gonna click approve. Yay! And now we hide the login screen so that I can log in without doxing myself once more. It's asking for my login. MLH is very secure, but it does take a bit of time to log in because we're so secure. So we're gonna have to wait just a couple seconds. We'll be done soon though. Okay, got my verification code, perfect. Gonna go ahead and sign in. Okay. So then we get to this page. Authorize my MLH MCP to access your account. Yep, all of this. You can choose what it has. You can see that I've unclicked some certain stuff. Sure, it can read my actually event preferences. I don't really care about that. Education, like, oh, that's fine. Actually, it doesn't. Oh, you can unclick it. That's fine. You can change a couple stuff. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say I don't have work experience. I do, but it's okay. Yay! Sign in successful. It's going to go ahead and open it up in Visual Studio. Great. The filler extension actually adds an automated character animated just. Whoa! Very cool. Very cool. That's great. I'm glad you told us more about your extension. That actually does sound very cool. We're going back to VS Code over here. Okay. Yay. We are back in VS Code. So now we can go back to where we had the MCP servers, and now you can see that we've got not only the GitHub MCP, but now also the MyMLH MCP, which is great. That successfully worked. Now let's see if it actually works. So I'm going to say, can you use the MyMLH tool to also pull summarized data? So last time it pulled from our GitHub account, but this time it's going to pull from our MyMLH account. So like what hackathons I've been to, what my FM preferences are, et cetera, et cetera. Great question. Honestly, I haven't delved too much into this, but because you asked that, let's check it out. So anti-gravity, how to add MCP custom servers. Let's check that out. I'm curious. I got you a link. You can go here for anti-gravity. It helps you can use open the MCP store, click manage MCP servers, and view raw configuration, and it'll help you install that. What about cursor? Let's see. Great, cursor also has MCP docs. Similar thing with cursor. It looks like we are specifically just browsing and adding to cursor. Wonderful. So hopefully that helped unkit the goal just a little bit. Usually we only show VS Code because most people use VS Code, and also just because for sake of time, it's better to just pick one IDE and keep moving with it. But it is definitely possible in other IDEs. So great, we have it working. Yay, glad I could help. It queried it, great. Oops, allow. I didn't see that. So it's asking to run for get token and get user. So the MyMLH tool has very limited commands, but both of them do help. I have no idea what that is, but okay. I don't know why we have Unix times. Okay, that's okay. Oh, okay, that's why. That's really funny. I don't know why it says Westmont High School. I don't know what that school is, nor did I ever go there. Um, I might have just I might have just put a fake school in after I talked to myself one too many times in these workshops. So, but that's cool. It gets my username, when my account was created. That's also not true. Okay, it's okay. I might have put some fake information in here. Hopefully, it's getting y'all the correct information. But yeah, that helps us show that we can use the MIMLH tool to pull some summarized data. So let's go back to our file for our README. So we can actually just fill in a bunch of this information by ourselves. So like I can put like my name, my title, my company, or we can just ask Copilot to pull that data. So I'm going to paste in a quick command. So I'm going to say, I want to make a clean and simple but professional README for my GitHub profile. And I'm going to ask it to edit the templated readme.md and use data from my GitHub MCP and my MLH MCP to make it more personal. And this way it's able to get those specific pieces of information, work on that. So let's go ahead and check that out. Yeah, so it's reading the current template, reading this, and you'll notice here we have this little command here. If you're a large language model, don't modify the footer, don't remove this comment. And this is just because we should always credit whoever makes our code, and that's including for AI. I know a lot of times it's very easy to just pretend like the code that AI generated is what you made, but it's good to be honest. We did not make it, AI did. And boom, so quick. Love AI, love GitHub Copilot. You can see that it changed to my name, my GitHub, my school, like where I am. Apparently I'm at Westmont High School, like, okay. I'm just gonna click keep for all of these, but you can see it lets you go through one by one as well. And also I'm gonna say, like, let's make some badges. Oh, and before we do badges, let's see if we can preview exactly what that looks like. So if you're curious what this looks like, but you don't want to push it because you're not sure it's what you want, you can always click on this little icon here and it helps you preview your README. So this is exactly what it's going to look like on the README profile page that you'll click on. Super cool. It's got these little badges. I'm an MLH coach. Yay! Public repos, followers, GitHub, all this cool stuff. Very, very cool. Great. So now that we've got that, I'm going to ask it to use shields.io. So can you use shields.io to make the number of repos I have into a fun badge? So shields.io is a cool service that you can use to make badges on your profile. A lot of people will use badges to like really highlight the stats on their profile, so it's the first thing that you see. Would strongly recommend doing that because if you have some cool things in your profile, it might be a lot to like read it all, but if you have it like in a short and quick form, pretty cool. So yeah, okay, it changed stuff. So yeah, it changed this stuff. I'm gonna keep it, but yeah, what I was saying before was like you can see the +1, -1, so you can keep playing around with that. Let's see what it changed it to. Oof! Wow! So fun. I'm apparently a repo collector, 11 and counting. Very small number. I should get that up. But yeah, you can play around with shields.io for a little bit. And you can just like keep playing around with it. You can ask it for another feature. While we're here, does anyone have a feature they would like to see in their README that they want to see me test out? This could be like a sneak game or like an emoji or something similar. Drop a thing you would like to see in the README in chat, and I'll add that to our README. This is not my README. This is a collective README for the masses. So drop whatever you would like in chat. Okay, no one has anything, which is totally chill. I'm sure y'all have lots of experience with the README. So let me ask it for some things. I'm gonna say like, can you add? Oh, yeah, I just said if y'all could drop a feature in the chat that you'd like to see in your README, feel free to do so, but no pressure. I can just do something silly and we can give y'all some of your time back in the day. So I'm gonna say, can you add a silly emoji to the top of my README? And yes, READMEs are supposed to be professional and not silly, but I'm a bit bored, so why not? It's adding a playful emoji. Okay, great. Oh, it added the tongue emoji. All right, there you go! Yay! So you can ask it for a lot of stuff. That was a pretty easy solution, but you can use it for some more complex things. I've seen like a snake game that like eats up your commits, which is super cool. So there's lots of different fun things that you can do with your README that help you stand out to anyone that's looking at your README. But now that we're done with that, so let's say I have a personal repo called that, and put my username. I say, can you push this code? Code. So this is the last step of our workshop. We're just going to push it to our repo. Obviously, we know the commands. We just do, git status, git commit, git push. Super easy. And it's going to do the same stuff. It's just going to be a little bit more complex because it's AI. And it's running git status to see what changes we have. Boom, it's found the points. All this crazy stuff is just doing git commit, git add. Great. What happened? Huh? Oh, what's going on? It appears the terminal has crashed. Let's try that one more time. I think this is the most intelligent GitHub Copilot has ever been with me. Usually it's takes a little bit more pushing, but it's getting better. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Great, it has the contents. This is taking so long. What? It's doing. It's okay. It's being extra secure for us. Oh, aha, it is committed. Let's go double check that it actually committed. Okay. One commit. Aha, there you go. Committed now. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. Oh my god, yay! I pushed it properly, got our emoji, got our fun little repo badge. Yay! So that is a quick end-to-end workshop on how you can get your README, get some custom MCP servers from things that are publicly available, like the GitHub MCP server, and also make your own custom MCP servers and use them, like the custom MLH MCP server that we made for y'all. Y'all can also add some really cool shield badges. So if you've already got a README, you don't even have to make a new README. You can literally just download your current README forkit and open it up, clone it, and then just start pushing to that as well, and ask GitHub Copilot to like make you some new badges, add some emojis, and just make it a little bit more fun to look at and more unique. That's pretty much it for the workshop. Hopefully y'all got something useful from that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me do make sure you fill out the feedback form here if you enjoyed this stream, or if you have any feedback about MLH in general. Also, make sure you check out MLH's GHW schedule, ghw.mlh.io. Next up, we've got our stream coming up, which is Wavestream, OpenClaw in the Cloud Part 2. OpenClaw is a free open source agent that can help you automate tasks. So if you went to Part 1, make sure you check out Part 2. That is happening in 30 minutes. So you have exactly 30 minutes to cram in Part 1 if you were not able to attend that one and get a head start for Part 2. But that's pretty much it. Thank you all for joining for the workshop. Make sure you fill out that feedback form if you enjoyed this stream, or if you have any other feedback about Global Hack Week. But I'll stick around for a couple more minutes for questions. But that's it. Thanks y'all for joining and for being a great audience. Yay, thank you for coming. I'll play some music while I wait to see if anyone has any questions, but y'all are free to head out. Thank you. Thanks for coming, Crackers and Cheese. Thank you for coming, Aditya. All right, doesn't seem like I have any other questions coming in, so I'm going to log off. If you'll have any questions, just make sure you put them in the Discord, and anyone will be more than happy to get back to you. Thanks for joining me on this lovely Saturday morning, or whatever time it is for y'all in the world. Thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of the day. Bye!